Mm.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Sulia podcast. My name is Safo. Today's episode is a little bit novel because today's been 5 years since the first ever Sulia podcast, which you can find on Castbox because back then we used to be very predominant on Castbox. Today I have one of my favorite haters because today is just a hating session. By their jerseys, they shall be known. My guy, JM Dry. And we are going to talk a lot of things. We are going to decisively and in togetherly and brotherly fashion hate on Arsenal. And then we are going to talk about the Club World Cup and then just to chat about a little bit of the
Mm.
signings that have been going on in the transfer window. So, Dry, Chade, what's up?
Adi was it's good to finally be on the Celia podcast. I've been chasing you for the past I think about 5 years, and finally, I've got the time to be on Celia podcast.
Well, if you realize how long it took for us to do makeup and it's for us to even start this thing, you know why you don't get on because it takes a lot. It's not just as
Mm.
posted. But I'm happy you've been able to grace a presence. But let me start off with this. I don't know if you've been following the Club World Cup. Let's get a little bit political because one thing people do not like to talk about is football and politics. But again, one thing about the Sulia podcast is we will broach that topic.
Mm.
3 or 4 years ago, when Qatar were about to host the Qatar World Cup, there was a barrage of media, mostly Western media to be specific, were very critical about Qatar as a state hosting the World Cup because Qatar as a state had a lot of human rights issues, there were labor issues, there were a lot of concern.
Mm.
Next year, we are having the World Cup in the United States of America. Even beyond the field of play, the United States of America currently has a very stringent immigration policy. They have stringent policies for social media. That
Mm.
is off the field. Again, off the field politically, their president, which is Mr. Donald Trump, has banned a lot of African countries. African today, Ghana received its ban from coming from getting visas into the United States. So those are like off the field issues. On the field, my understanding of the Club World Cup is, you know how in every year we have FIFA Confederation Cup before you play the World Cup? My
Yeah.
understanding of the Club World Cup is it's not going to be every year. That's how I'm understanding it.
Yes. Every
This
four
Club World
years.
Cup every 4 years is being expanded in a way so that the host nations can have like a practical sessions to test their facilities and to test the weather. You remember in Qatar, the World Cup was held in December, which is
Yeah.
out of like the ordinary time to which you play the World Cup normally June, July.
Yeah.
It was played in December to accommodate the weather.
Mm-hmm.
The weather in the United States of America is on boiling level.
Mm.
It's on Ajwa tea steaming kind of level. It's very hot in the United States. Right, it's hot to the extent that even the dogs who are normally on patrol and stuff like that have to their shoes made for this is factual things I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's very hot.
I saw some myself. I think yesterday or so in the news, it was broadcasted that the US has recorded its highest temperatures, I think, in some decades now. Like there
And
are,
then secondly,
yeah,
secondly, let's not forget, secondly, even on the field of play, there are issues up with that. We had Jude Bellingham complaining about the ball not sticking and the field of play not being in the best shape. Again, all I'm driving at is there seems to be a lot of rancor, a lot of agitation, a lot of backstory. Firstly, the media is not covering it as much as we heard about Qatar a year ago by this time.
yeah,
And let's not forget Qatar, so maybe you can make that argument. Qatar was ranked as one of the best World Cups people have seen in a very long while. So maybe the American World Cup might be the same. But firstly, why do you think there's no much backlash? Secondly, do you think these things can be fixed with time? And then thirdly, what do you think about the conditions surrounding the Club World Cup?
Okay, so I think I'll start on this foot. The world has become or has grown to be hostile than some decades ago. And then there's been the need for people to be very conscious, especially security-wise. And in this very time when, I mean, wars are happening, and then, I mean, people are accusing the US of being the active players in these wars. I mean, if I was the US and I was Donald Trump, I would be very concerned, and I would raise security, I'll make security measures more stringent like this, right? So first question concerning why the media isn't covering or sharing stories like happening in the US compared to Qatar is because it's the US. The US has a lot of things favoring it, i.e. media, PR, most especially, and the fact that the US probably is regarded as everybody's dream destination. So they would always do things to paint the US in a better light, on a positive light, that would still want to attract people to come to the US, which is why you don't get that kind of like backlash. And concerning why, I think this thing was about the facilities also. Again,
Yeah.
US is not known to be like, I think, a footballing nation. They are popular with NBA basketball, and then the NFL. So I think some of the stadium or some of the stadia host NFL games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is one thing, which is why you will not see them maybe put in place structures that would favor football or soccer, as it's called in the US. So that is another thing. And again, the weather is very bad. I mean, for footballing purposes, because you be running. Imagine playing football at Tamale and running in the sun. Charlie,
Climate change. You people don't believe in climate change. That's what has
the
gotten
climate
us
change is
here.
really real.
Climate change.
You know, climate change is a big thing, and we are seeing its effects, I mean, manifesting right in front of our eyes. So back in the last, I think, World Cup, some of the stadia had air conditions just to create the right conditions for players to play soccer to the best of their abilities and all of that. We saw that in this Club World Cup, some of the players could not even go to the pitch to watch. I mean, those on the bench, they couldn't watch the game from the pitch. They had to
That's
go.
one.
Exactly. They had to be, I think some of the Dortmund players, they had to be in the dressing room to
I
watch.
mean, the Dortmund players, someone asked this question, so how do they play in South Africa? South Africa was equally hot. But then I think that says different players, different times. The world
Exactly.
has
That is,
gone soft now. In the word of Shandai, Atabuk nonsense.
wait, someone asked South Africans or asked Dortmund that they played
People were saying that during the South African World Cup, it was equally as hot as it was in Dortmund's game. So they don't understand why the Dortmund players had to use the
Oh,
dressing
that
rooms
was,
instead of being on the field.
I'm coming. So those times, I don't think this crop of players featured in that South African World
Yeah,
Cup. So
exactly what my answer was.
they didn't experience that condition, and they can't juxtapose the two. So I think that question is out of place. So yes, in Qatar had air conditions in their stadia, or some of the stadium, just to create that condition for players to thrive and then enjoy the game. We are not seeing. I've not heard anything about that kind of thing in the US, that some of the stadiums or some of the stadia had air conditions mounted in them or installed in them just to create that kind of conditions for players to play. And if this is a simulation of what will happen next year's World Cup, trust me, it's not going to be the best in terms of creating that kind of condition that will make players play and enjoy, and I mean, give us a beautiful game for us to enjoy. I don't think it's going to be a good thing for us to see. So I think this should maybe, it's good. It's happening in the US because they host the next World Cup. I think they'll use this as simulations to see the things they need to improve to create a very good World Cup that would maybe equal what they've already done in the past, or at least come close to what Qatar did.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with you on that, because I think the whole point of this is a test run. So or maybe by next year they would have known what to do, what not to do, how to work on the stadiums and stuff like that. But again, one thing I would say is, Qatar had this Golf Cup prior to the World Cup, and you really had many of these complaints. So it just shows you the level of readiness there. It's just next year. There's still time. The infrastructure, technology, and everything is there for them to work on. So off the field issues, now back to like on the field issue. I know you were a hater, and you would want to talk about Chelsea because you started immediately. Chelsea beat Flamingo. Sorry
Let
for
me adjust my seat very well because
Chelsea
this
beat 3-0. But you see, the God we worship, you
Mhm.
see, when we say he's not bowlegged, he's not bow-legged. The God we worship, you cannot make mockery of him. I don't know if you've seen the draw and you've seen where Chelsea is on the draw, because
Exactly.
Chelsea's path to the semi-final is Benfica and then Palmeiras and Botafogo. As compared to the people who rushed to be first in our group, whose path is Bayern Munich. So first of all, again, your club is not at the Club World Cup because again, you see, you're not a United fan, but let me say this to United fans. You know, once upon a time, I don't know if people are old enough to remember that there was once a time where Chelsea was referred to as a Malco club.
Even
And
still, now, still,
Barry,
it's still
no.
happening.
Secondly, a barren club because
Mm,
Chelsea had never won a Champions League. I'm old enough to
mm,
remember how
mm.
Chelsea was mocked. And United had what, three Champions League. Fast forward 2025, Chelsea has two Champions League. Chelsea qualifies to play in a Club World Cup. Do you know how much of a downgrade that a team with a caliber of Manchester United, the last time they won the Champions League was in 2008. Do you know what was going on in 2008? Ghana was hosting the African Cup of
African
Nations.
Cup of Nations, yes, it's true. It's
That's
true.
what happened in 2008 was when Barack Obama was elected freshly as American. Barack Obama has done two terms. Trump has
Mm,
had his first term.
mm.
Biden has had his term. Trump is having another term. That's how old 2008 is. That's the last time Manchester United won
There's
the Champions League.
Xabi Alonso was playing at the time. He's
See,
done
Spain had
and
not even won the World Cup yet. We had not even had South African World Cup.
exactly.
That's
It's true.
how long Manchester. And funny enough, they still think they're a big club. But then that's just me being hateful.
I mean,
I
they're
I
still a
would have
big
said
club.
the same for I would have said the same for Liverpool. But then again in 2008, again 2008 was when Liverpool, at least when it came to Champions League, they were having Dekai, Dry Bubble, Fernando Torres, Steven Gerrard, is it Reese, Pepe Reina, Skertel, Carragher, Xabi Alonso. That was far back in 2008. I could have said the same, but then I can't say now because Liverpool within time got their mojo. I think the only reason why Liverpool does not qualify to be in the Club World Cup was because the last time they won the Champions League was 2019,
20 years,
as
yes.
compared to the recency of Chelsea's recency was 2021.
Yes.
So Chelsea
And
qualifies.
exactly. And I think they use the past 4 years, they use your performance in Europe or in a continental competition over the past 4 years to qualify into the competition,
First
which I
of all, it's
think
crazy. It's crazy. It's
which I
crazy
think
that
is bad.
Liverpool, the last time you won is 2019. It's crazy. How has Liverpool should have at least one other Champions League? Looking at how long they've been going toe to toe. I wouldn't even say toe to toe. That's another conversation for another time with Manchester City. But they've been on the renaissance for quite a long time. One Champions League, I feel like you're not making use of your time up to because it's very cyclical. I really think
Yeah,
it's very
it's
cyclical.
I don't think it's just a matter of, let's say, making appearances at the top level or even qualifying from the group stages to play in the knockout stages. It's a matter of having the right personnel at the time to equally help you win the league, vis-a-vis trying to also at the same time trying to also make a name for yourself in the local leagues you play. So in that era where Liverpool was actually I think went to the finals 3 times under club, and then we lost two and then we won one.
Mhm.
Those times were equally trying to break a 3-decade gap of not winning the Premier League. So, and we are also thin on personnel. So you could just, side with us how we're trying to utilize the personnel we had at our disposal. We didn't have squad depth. We didn't have the money that Chelsea had to buy 1.2 billion squad worth of players and
Please
only
give
end
me a
up in
break.
Conference League and winning Conference League and jubilating. I mean, people are even winning FA Cup and not celebrating. But look at, did you see your club jubilating for winning Conference League?
Please. We like our Dondo trophy.
It's
Back to
sad. It's sad. But
back
back
to
to
my
the
question. How do you see Chelsea's performance? But the draw,
yes.
essentially, you can go for Chelsea. I'm just giving you a free
I
range
think
up.
there's one thing I always maintain. Competitions are not won because you are very how do I put it? You are very good at whatever the competition is about. It's about maybe some goodwill or luck, and then some strategy, being strategic about stuff. So sometimes you can lose a match just for strategic purposes, and you can win matches. If not, you may rush like Liverpool did, win the group stages or be on the top of the league phase, and then only go and face a team that had to play a qualifying round to come to round 16, only to face that team, for that team to knock you out of the competition. So sometimes that's another thing to talk about. Maybe in future they will provide that system to favor those who qualify on the top of the league. Yeah, but the principle still remains the same. That sometimes in competition, it's not about I can play very well and then you are beating everybody and then just winning. No, you have to be very calculated and know how and where you want to be at what point in time to face what opponent, which would help your cause advance in the competition. So that's what Chelsea has done. I don't know if they did it on purpose or it happened by accident. If it's on purpose, if it's on purpose, then I think it is very intelligent of the managers of the club to do that. But then let's analyze what Chelsea has done so far in the competition. Come on, do you know what it takes for somebody from Sugarcane Farm to come and score you who won European champion? No.
I think it's
Flamingo, right?
Yeah, Flamingo. Why am I always confusing Flamingo with Fluminense? See,
Flamingo.
I think it's they have Gerson, a team with Jorginho, Gerson. Flamingo is one of the best in the Brazilian league. No, if you are watching the Club World Cup, you realize how good the Brazilian teams are. Again, if you go back to that Chelsea game, you'd realize it was a very experimental Chelsea team. They were playing Rich James in midfield. They were playing Malo Gusto at a wing back position.
Yeah, what makes a coach, right, believe his experiment and execute it in a competitive game or in a statement-making game is that the experiment worked at training, and he believed that experiment would deliver results in the competitive game. So
also, there's a dismissive attitude. There's a dismissive attitude towards this tournament, though. And again, that's something I would want to get your opinion on. That Europeans are not taking it seriously; they are taking it as a club, as a friendly. I don't think so. I think it's being taken seriously. It's just Enzo Maresca who's just misbehaving. But even if you watched yesterday's game of Chelsea and Esperance. Again, it was another experimental team. So maybe we will really see Chelsea when they qualify from the group phase.
I won't say it's experimental. See, has Maresca played the kind of system he's played against Flamingo and an Esperance in the Premier League? Yes. What I mean by that is this: has he played Rhys James in midfield in the Premier League? He's done that. Has he played Madueke out of position? He's done that. In fact,
you see, there's a difference between doing.
Has he played Palmer out of position in the Premier League? He's done that. So
you can't. You see, the difference between that and this is a prize. It's a tournament. It's a knockout competition. So to do it there shows a level of seriousness or unseriousness. If you are going to the World Cup and you have a style of playing and then you change it, it's not because you're being innovative. Because has it brought you success? Is there a success rate behind the style you are playing? If we can pinpoint to the success rate it has, then you don't risk it. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe we are going to actually see Chelsea after the group stage.
No, wait. He's the same experimentation to get Chelsea to qualify for Champions League next season.
He has a standard of playing. He has a standard of playing where Palmer is a midfielder, is an attacking midfielder, not a winger. Palmer played on the wings against Flamingo. He has a system whereby his two midfielders are Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer. His midfield has never been Rhys James, Caicedo, Enzo, with a trusted striker being Nicolas Jackson.
Yes, but he's played that system before. He's played the formation
just to try the lap. We bench just to try the lap. So I don't know. I think, again, personally, the fall is on Enzo Maresca, but I don't think people should go hard on. At the end of the day, we've qualified. We are going to face Benfica, who I think Chelsea had a
But
more better chance of beating than Bayern Munich.
The point is this: if Chelsea, by the route they've taken or they've got, if they win the Club World Cup, which will not happen, right? Even if it happens, the conversation will still come down to, I mean, they even had a soft path. Look at compare it to, let's say, Bayern, who would potentially face PSG, who would even qualify and go and face another bigger club, compared to Chelsea, who's facing who. By the way, even if Chelsea should beat, how do you call it?
Who do you think would win the Club World Cup from the games you fought?
See,
mind you, City just beat Juventus 5 or so.
Yes, to 5-2. Today I watched the City game. I watched the first 10 minutes keenly. Trust me. In the third or fourth minute thereabout, there was this interplay between Doku and Nori. Oh my God.
I know it's scary. You see, this is the thing about tournament football. And again, why it was premature to celebrate. Tournament football, if you watch Wydad versus City, City were not impressive. They were not. And Juventus has hands down been one of the best teams in this tournament. To get that level of hopping from City, all of a sudden, Madrid has not been impressive, but yeah, they won 3-0 against Inter.
Yeah, they're picking gradually.
PSG choked against Botafogo. So, honestly, and you know the funny thing, all these teams are mentioned are on one side of the draw.
Exactly, that's the bad thing. I don't know which Madrid will be. I want to see. I'll make my prediction after seeing where Madrid is going to be.
No, Madrid is also on the other side.
I think
on the Chelsea side. On the Chelsea side, Juventus before today, Juventus was the team. Juventus was the team on the Chelsea side, but I don't know. Maybe City could move to that side if they top their group.
If City gets to that side, I mean, your hopes for winning this.
Well, once it is again familiar opposition. My thing with Chelsea is they are not maturing as quick enough as they should be.
So yes, City. You have City. You may have
most likely in the semi-finals.
Juve is on the other side.
So because they lost.
They are on that side, yes.
That's a tough side.
Inter Milan is also on the side. Inter Milan and City may face at the quarterfinals.
Oh, okay. So that's on the Chelsea.
And then there may be maybe which team is, I think Botafogo and then
Palmeiras.
Botafogo and Benfica may face in the quarterfinals.
No, Botafogo and Palmeiras and Chelsea, you mean may face?
Yeah, I mean Botafogo and Benfica may face in the quarterfinals. That's my prediction.
You are supposed to be. You are not supposed to be hating as a Liverpool fan.
I'm not hating.
You're supposed to be hating on City. But then, I think it's too early. But then the likely favorites from what I have seen so far, if you had asked me, I would have said it's PSG. I still think it's PSG.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a difficult part, but then the Champions League. You know the funny thing, we thought PSG had an easier path and all of that. So they showed us how good they are. I think.
Safu, wait. This guy is back.
Dembele
is back.
For
Bayern, and I watched
doesn't change anything.
Cameo from
Musiala played the 10-0 game. He scored a hat-trick in the 10-0 game.
Yes,
so he's not back. He's been there.
From that game, I think to the second game or so. Yeah, I mean,
okay. So let's wrap up on the Club World Cup. What do you think of the African? I'll start first with the African performances.
I think we should talk about the attendance.
Yeah, we will get to that.
Before we get to Africa.
Before we get to Africa, let's just clear the attendance thing. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. I feel like
attendance?
It's America in the first place. This is a people who, like you said, football is not like their main thing. And the games are being played. Luckily for us, we are in the same. You're in Canada. I'm in America. The timing is the same. It's really not that different. People are working. You know, if it was a World Cup, you would understand. And if it was a preseason, normally preseason is played around August. Those kind of time. It's very suitable for even. It's a summer. It's peak summer time. Peak. Everyone understands that even if you are working, it's not really as rigorous. So the timing is different. But then again, there are people who football is not the main thing. If this was played in Europe, because Europe is a football crazy continent. Even if this was played in Africa, you still have attendance issues. Look at your AFCONs. Look at your AFCONs. Even take a look at AFCONs.
Oh,
AFCONs,
AFCONs,
apart from when host nations are playing, you rarely ever have full stadiums.
no,
But then
AFCONs,
again,
AFCONs. So when Burkina Faso is playing Comoros, who do you want?
I was at the Ghana Egypt match at the
Exactly.
AFCON. It was not a full stadium.
But the number was
impressive because
Yes,
too
exactly.
big. So it's like, who do you expect to go and sit down and watch Ura Red Japan versus Palmeiras? The Brazilian fans are good because, but then how? And their stadiums are huge. They're massive
very
capacity.
big, very big,
So there
very
was this school of thought that they could have had it in smaller size stadiums just for the optics, because this is a first time tournament. I'm sure with time, the next World Cup, I don't know if it's confirmed, but it should be in Spain, Morocco,
The one that
Portugal. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet.
three different. Yeah, I think so.
The 3 states.
Yeah,
it's confirmed.
I know there's
Because I
Morocco.
was hearing something about it will be changed.
Yeah, I know some.
It's Morocco, Spain, Portugal.
Yeah, Morocco, Portugal. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but then
I think the bid is already.
I'm sure we would see. Okay. Well, I'll have to check my fact where I heard that it will be changed. But then the thing then is, when we get to subsequent tournaments, it will get better. It will get better. They will learn from their mistakes. So I don't get bugged by the attendance issue. Honestly, I don't get bugged by it. I mean,
like the FIFA presidents must come out and say how not impressive ticket sales were going, to the point where they had to now cut down on the cost of tickets to the stadium. And even
it comes with where you are hosting the tournament. They come with it again. I don't think the marketing was done well. Yeah, FIFA also has a share of blame.
They partnered a media outlet who was broadcasting
DAZN?
Yeah, DAZN for free.
DAZN.
Yes, for free.
So you see,
it's a lot of issues. It underscores the lack of interest in the game in general. But then I think we can't finish this convo, or can't leave this convo without mentioning or highlighting how the stadium gets crowded when we have the big teams playing. Like when Messi is playing, I think we get some numbers. When also the big teams are clashing, we get some big numbers. I saw some 70,000, some 60,000. That's good.
Yeah. And again, note this: as it goes forward, as the tournament progresses, I think the numbers would improve.
Yes, because now
it just happens. I'm sure by the time we get to the final, you would have a full stadium. These things happen. So
I don't really. That's smaller teams are out of the competition. Then we'll start seeing.
Okay. If you see, so I don't really read much into this. That's all I'll say. I don't really read much into it. But then back to the African performances. This is my thing. I was watching Mamelodi versus Fluminense. God, Flamingo and Fluminense confuses me a lot. And again, Mamelodi is one team I've been keenly following because of the African contingent. They were the ones I had hoping. I tweeted this that, I don't know, there's just something about Egyptian teams when they go onto the continent to represent, they just are not as lethal as they are on the continent. Al Ali had the opportunity. They should have beaten LAFC. Yes. They should have beaten Inter Miami.
Inter Miami. Messi's.
I don't know how they drew that. Then they drew again with Porto and lost their second game against
the last game. Is that the last game?
No, they drew 4-4 the last game with Porto. Palmeiras, they lost to Palmeiras, which is shocking.
It's true.
Compared to Mamelodi beat Ura, this Japanese club.
Expected.
I can't remember their name. But even that one was not really impressive by 1-0. But that team has been really stubborn. Then against Dortmund, they take the lead. I was watching this game, they take the lead, and they had their necks on Dortmund's throats throughout majority part of the first half, and they make silly mistakes. And by the time they realized they are 4-1 down, before they had to fight back 4-3. But then again, when they got there, I was like, because Fluminense is not an easy team to beat, and they showed yesterday they needed the win and could hardly get the ball over the center line. It pissed me off watching it very much. So that's Mamelodi. Without I mean, Woodard is coming in because they had
I
won
think
the
they drew their last game,
AFCON like
right?
a long time ago. They played against Alain. The last time I checked it was 2-1. I don't know how it ended. But Woodard is in
Yeah,
because they won
it
they
was it ended
won
2-1.
some time back.
Mhm.
They won the
Club
CAF
World Cup.
they won the CAF Champions League some time back. That's why they are in there. But
Okay.
Woodard has not been good for some time now, so that's
Mm.
understanding. Esperance, Mamma mia. Esperance faced Chelsea, LAFC. They did beat LAFC, which was as expected. They should have, and I think they fumbled against. But again, you can say it's a very tough group because again we saw how good Flamingo are. So I think they lost to Flamingo, won against LAFC. For Esperance, I would understand because unlike how we expected, their group was kind of tough. But again, I've been having this conversation. Like I'm sick and tired of African clubs being these teams who just make up the numbers. That's why whenever I watch whenever I watch World Cup, I'm so irritated that by the time you get to the knockout stage, there's just only one African team. I feel like African teams equally have the I don't see how Monterrey maybe are deadly, but I don't see how Monterrey is any better than Mamelodi Sundowns.
Mm.
I don't see how Monterrey is any better to qualify. I don't even see the gap in quality of Palmeiras and
I think maybe you are looking at it from one perspective or from just one angle. Let's also look at it from maybe the club's angle and what their goals for participating in these tournaments are. Appearance fee. Charlie, that's I hear some $9 million, $8
Yeah,
million.
I heard
Charlie,
the money is
yes,
very good for just appearing.
that is enough. How much does the CAF championship winner win?
No, but wait. Mamelodi Sundowns is being owned by Patrick Motsepe, who is like the CAF president. They are by no means a poor club. I know there's more
Yes,
money, but I don't think
but 8 million is
if you
still
listen
8
to
million plus
Mamelodi
still 8
Sundown,
million. Mhm.
if you listen to Mamelodi Sundown have an interview with ESPN prior to the CAF, I don't think they were there to just make up the numbers.
Mm.
I don't think it's just about the money.
Mhm.
I mean, I think these people go there because they equally have the fan bases. You should see with that fan base when they were playing against City. And again, with that, I don't want to get started. If anybody watched with that versus Man City, they would be pissed off at
Mm.
the chances with that was missing one-on-ones I don't know.
Like
So
nothing.
the excuse,
Mm.
so it just proves that you can equally play on that level with the biggest of teams in the world. That's my take on it.
Mm.
You are not this inferior team. I don't know how Sundowns were playing safe. I know they didn't want to concede because if they had conceded, but then Fluminense showed them another level, and that hurt me so much because
Mm.
they had the quality. They had Mokwena, they have Tembazwane, they had all this quality who are very deadly when it comes to AFCON, and then
Mm.
they just
I
don't
mean,
show up
it's
during.
I wouldn't say that it's telling on the quality of football in the continent. I mean, we play very good football games, which is why I mean at least they were able to match these very equally good teams, and in some cases even won some of the games. I think you can't say the same for the teams from, let's say, Saudi or the teams from Japan.
Saudi has okay, no, Saudi UAE has Al Ain. So
Yes,
sorry,
you.
Al Ali. No, Saudi has Al Ali who will be playing this evening. They most likely will qualify because they've been playing very
Pachuca.
good. I was just shocked they couldn't beat.
Okay,
I was shocked they
I
couldn't beat Salzburg.
have they won a game yet? No.
Al Ali.
Yes.
No, Al
Won a
Hilal.
game
Sorry,
yet?
Al Hilal has no one. But I think they should
Yes.
be good to win their
Sorry.
last game
Yeah,
against
Al Hilal has not
Pachuca.
won a game. Al Hilal has not won a game yet. And
Hmm.
Pachuca, they may win, which is a team that even my favorite Hasselhoff will equally score. So it makes no
Be
difference.
serious. Be
But
serious about
yeah,
Hasselhoff. Hasselhoff is not even going to beat uh, Toronto University 11.
wait till you get there. So the point is this: I don't think it's a complete indictment on the kind of football we play on the continent. Maybe again, of course, there's room for improvement. These stages also present opportunities for these coaches to equally get exposure and also learn. The game, I think, was it against, I think maybe Sundowns, the Williams keeper. They were
Robert
trying,
Williams against
trying to
Dortmund.
play from trying to play from the back, and then he passed
Yeah.
the ball, I think, to the opener, and then they scored. And then that was a very bad thing after they had taken the lead, and I think that had a toll on them or on him
Mhm.
in particular. But then later on, when he started making some good saves, I mean, he grew into the game, and then I think that also thrusted.
Williams is Africa's best goalkeeper currently.
Exactly.
So
Good.
was it Onana? No, sorry. I think for the last AFCON, he was the best goalkeeper.
Yes, it speaks volumes about his quality. But then just to see him do that mistake was just bad. I mean, today Ederson made a similar mistake, right? Ederson also passed the ball to Cope Miners, and then Cope Miners also equalized. But the point is this, and I agree with you when you say that maybe the football on African continent is not so competitive. But I mean, again, yes, there will be room for improvement.
I doubt.
There'll always be room for improvement. And these kind of stages give those opportunities for these coaches to learn, even meet up with better coaches. Maybe you meet with Pep Guardiola, maybe just a 5 minutes conversation with Pep Guardiola could actually unlock some new ideas from you. Just that you will not be in the competition to implement that idea. But then I'm sure it will be a good improvement onto the coaches' philosophy. And then when they get such an opportunity, they may get to express themselves. When the Club World Cup was, I think, 7 teams or lesser number of teams like this, I think African teams they've progressed beyond the first stage. I think so. For this kind of World Cup, it is expected. It's go and learn. The next 4 years, we want to see at least an African team qualify from the group stages to the next run of games. Yes, for me,
okay,
I want to count them. But
let's just round up.
In the bag is good. Hey, Charlie.
Let's just round up. I mean, I guess they'll get better. I'm sure but I equally like the fact that people were really sleeping on this tournament by speaking up. And it's good for when there's no football, because like normally there would have been nothing happening.
This $1 billion this $1 billion tournament too. Charlie, imagine that money going into Perez's pockets.
Well, so finally, last thing, let's talk Arsenal. Let's talk Thomas Partey, because both as Ghanaians, first of all, this what see. Arsenal and Thomas Partey couldn't reach an agreement, because I think what's happening is Thomas is asking for more on his wages. I'm thinking on an Arsenal side, they think Thomas is an injury-prone player, and they will not be willing to increase his wages or improve his contract. And it's most likely he's going to run it down to the end of the season. This is what I would see. Arsenal fans, and I know I've heard a lot of stories on the background, especially with this Partey thing. I think Arsenal, one thing we need to see is Arsenal has tremendously, to a level, helped Partey in his troubles and everything. I think some Arsenal fans have not been fair to Thomas Partey. Some Arsenal fans have not acknowledged how good Thomas Partey has been for them to be even thinking of ever winning the Premier League, for them to even be close. They've never been appreciative of that. Again, I think Thomas is deserving of an improved contract, because he had this injury. I don't know if you watched his recent. When he had the operation, he's never gone back. He's never been injury prone. He's watching his diet. He's been watching it. You get it. And I get it. The question is, what do you want more as Arsenal? Do you want to compete for the title next season? Trust me, even if you get Zubimendi, I don't think you compete for the title next season, because Zubimendi would take time to adjust. You know, Nørgaard cannot lace Partey's boot in any way. Look at your competitors. No. Truls Nørgaard does not lace Thomas Partey's boot, and I'm serious.
What I say? I mean, Nørgaard is going to. I'm not saying Nørgaard is not going to lace Partey, or Nørgaard cannot replace Partey. Understood?
Because you're getting Nørgaard because Partey is not going through.
Exactly. So, what do you think is making Arsenal not to get a typical Partey replacement based on Partey's profile?
No, I think on an Arsenal point, they see Partey.
They think Partey is like a controller of that sort, right? I mean, not much of a combative defensive midfielder. So Partey gets the balls, knows how to control games for you, play those passes that can take defenders out of the game for you, right? They think that they can get that in maybe Odegaard or in an improved Odegaard. And
You
then
know,
I'm
the same
coming.
Odegaard we watched last season.
I'm coming. Just like how a time came, Partey's performance dipped, and then last season we saw Partey playing at a Partey level again. Same thing can be said about Odegaard. Odegaard had a season where he was flying. Last season he went down, downhill. But then again, that expectation can be hard for, or we have that same expectation for this one. How do you call it? Odegaard to bounce back to his peak, right? So get us a combative midfielder who can win the ball, release the
What
ball.
you're saying is Baldash. Honestly, what you're saying is Baldash.
No, it's just a systemic change.
No, that's not why they're letting Partey go. That's not why they're letting
I'm not saying. Wait.
Partey can be a liability.
Relax.
I think they think he does not deserve of whatever he's asking for.
For what I know, right? Partey's contract fell through because I think the Arsenal board wants not just they just don't want, let's say, to raise Partey's wages. They want to halve it. That is what annoying Partey. It's not about, let's say. So Partey's actually asking for, okay,
not think Partey is deserving of having his pay halved?
No.
That's
what I'm saying. So Partey doesn't deserve to have his pay halved. So I'm saying that, see, if you cannot maybe increase my wages, keep it at what it is now. But to halve it is very bad. But I'm saying that from a managerial perspective, if we think other players who will be very instrumental, considering other factors like injury, consistency, availability, and all of that, and we think that based on that, we ask you to have your wages for us to pay for those players who will always be available, and won't agree. Run down your contract and leave. What do we do from a technical point of view? From a technical point of view, ask certain players to step up in your department or in your use, and then bring in someone to come and play that kind of combative.
Let me ask this question. Do you believe Bukayo Saka's contract wages should be halved?
Oh, Bukayo Saka is a star boy. He's always available.
He missed most part of last season through injury.
Because of injury. Exactly. Is comparing Bukayo Saka to
Partey played more games than Saka.
Exactly. Comparing Bukayo Saka to Partey, right? Who is injury prone? Who is proven to be,
but was not injury prone last season because he had the surgery.
Who is proven to be
was preventing him from playing?
Who is proven to be consistently available? You don't know. At a point in time,
Saka from what I saw last season, Partey seems reliable now.
Yeah, God.
Wait, I'm not. You are talking from 2 seasons ago.
I'm coming.
Saka didn't start playing for the recent season.
No. That cannot be your basis or your reference frame.
No. But you see, let me just make the point.
At a point in time, Saka played almost every game.
It is about the value you have of a player.
Yes.
Do you honestly believe Arsenal have no use or no value for Partey currently that they would not mind if he runs down his contract?
When Zubimendi comes,
you think Zubimendi? Again. That's if Zubimendi comes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
he's already here.
Alonso, no, it's not a done deal.
It's a done deal. He's signed for Arsenal. It's done.
It's not a done deal.
Fabrizio says that nobody can.
Football fans act like we've not seen crazy transfers before. Football fans, there was a world in which Robinho was doing his medical for one club. Then ends up in another club. So I see him do it. No, because see, again, it's not the Spanish play. Yes. The English weather. But fine, let's even say Zubimendi's coming. Personally, I have seen Zubimendi. I think you guys are hyping him too much.
He deserves to be hyped.
I think you guys are hyping him too much.
It's a Spanish.
I think you guys are hyping him too much. I don't think he's going to hit the ground running. And if you take out Zubimendi, maybe this Zubimendi you claim is coming, your replacement is Truls Nørgaard. Look at your opponent. Your opponent are splashing money on buying Florian Wirtz.
No.
They are buying Milos Kerkez.
Don't bring.
Your opponent are buying Jeremy Frimpong.
No. Your opponents are buying
Reinders.
Your opponents are buying
Stecky, Reinders, actually solving their issues.
Uh-huh.
Please.
Players
They're
are
actually solving their issues. Honestly, I don't think Arsenal is a serious club. I tweeted this and the Arsenal fans came for me. But this is how it goes at the beginning of the season. You have Arsenal fans cajole and then defend their club. You look at what your competitors are doing.
Mm.
So take away Zubimendi. Who do
Mm.
you think Arsenal is going for? They've gone for Kepa and Truls Nørgaard. Who do you think
Yes.
is available on the market
I
now
think
for
they're
Arsenal?
going for this. There's this
Sesko,
young. Is it,
Benjamin Sesko.
no, not Benjamin Sesko. There's this young guy they've signed recently, and then I think they're chasing.
If you can't remember the
Tyrell
name,
Happy. They're this left back. I
yes,
think is it from
start
Valencia?
to search and look for who you are getting. Once once your competitors are getting, because if
Yeah,
when
Hato is from Ajax.
yeah, had to the Eredivisie. I don't know why I said Feyenoord.
Hato is from Ajax. So yes,
If
going for Hato, and then there's this other guy. I think from Valencia, a very talented boy. Charlie, what they want to know?
honestly, I don't think. See, if I'm to make a prediction of next, I don't think that's not compete for anything.
Wow,
It's
I think the most fierce season, the most fierce team.
It's going to be between Liverpool, City.
No, it's going to be Arsenal, in my opinion, Arsenal, and then coming close to Arsenal is going to be Chelsea, because
Yeah,
there's
good
something I'm
opinion.
No,
Good
no, no, no.
opinion. Good
See.
opinion.
See. The kind of ball that this guy will come and play, Esteban will come and play at Chelsea.
It's the ball that's using PR to win one of the match. We are watching. It's the same thing with Madrid, Mustuntando, whatever they are going to get. These guys are not balling anything. It's just a lot of.
Do you see the goal that Delap scored in the previous game? The assist from Enzo wasn't a
bro. I am a Chelsea fan, and I'm telling you that Chelsea might be the top 4, but next season is going to be between Liverpool and City, because they are the only two teams who've shown seriousness on the transfer market.
City's defense is still lacking something. I mean, they are
but they're still potent.
City is giving me the vibe Liverpool had when Klopp had bought what do you call it? Mane, Salah, Firmino, and then the midfield was also very good. And then at the back, we're having this guy, Dejan Lovren, and then Skettles at the back. So that's
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how it works. But then it's nice we are having this conversation. Personally, I think it's between. If you look at Liverpool signing, what do you make of your own club signing? I think Liverpool has been the best team in the transfer market currently, together with City.
I disagree with you. I mean, we are signing players from a very low tier league. Take nothing away from these players. Florian Wirtz has won the most man of the match in the past Champions League its season. That is fine. He's won the player of the season.
The same league is the same league City got Haaland from, by the way, in case you forgot.
Exactly the same season, the same league that City also got this guy from. How do you call it? Oh God, this Egyptian guy. It's the same league that Chelsea got Havertz from. The same league that Chelsea got
the Champions League winning Havertz.
Yes, the same that Chelsea got Timo Werner
Champions League winning Havertz.
Timo Werner.
Champions League winning Timo Werner.
Champions League winning Timo Werner. It's the same league. It's the same league that.
Be serious. What's your mouth?
It's the same league that we are having this player from, delete from. So see, the dynamics are different, right? But I mean, it's a good thing. But I'm not so hyped until I see the first 5 games or first 10 games of the Premier League, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing something. Same thing for Jeremy Frimpong. I'm not so hyped. I'm calm. Honestly, I'm very, very calm. See, people are buying Tijani Rangers. Tried and tested.
Oh my goodness.
Prove it.
See, that's what I would say. Because it seems you have little faith in your own club. That's what I would say. I think Kekes as a signing is fantastic.
Yeah, Kekes is very good.
It's an upgrade on your Trent problem.
Yeah,
upgrade defensively sound. Vert, I think, too much money.
We've never had. I'm coming. Kekes is not really an improvement on the Trent situation, because Kekes is going to play on the left. And on the left, we never really had like.
Also, Frimpong.
Yeah, we not really had a defensive problem with Robertson. It's just that now his agent is becoming evident, and his backup is not any better, which is why we need to get Kekes. But
Honestly, my headache has been Frimpong
exactly.
because
Yes.
Frimpong is no longer a defender. If you watch Frimpong's game, the guy is you would think
Yeah.
he's a winger now. He's rarely doing any defensive work.
Exactly. The thing is
So
this,
I don't know.
yeah, most people are thinking that maybe it's gonna be a systemic change. I mean, you will see a 4-2-3-1 on paper, but when the game is ongoing, you would see maybe Gravenberg drop deeper to form a back three, and then send Kekes and then Frimpong up high, and then you have Soboslai and then McAllister in the middle, and then maybe Viet, Salah, and now we need somebody, maybe a Diaz in front, or maybe an Isak in front. But we are trying to look at if Chelsea can give us a Jackson who will take, because he's trying.
We would give.
Yeah, we just want
give.
Jackson. We want Jackson and Caicedo.
No, but no.
These two.
We'll give you Jackson if you give us Salah.
No. Salah is aged. I mean, where will he play? You haven't established.
You see, my thing is, I think what thing I love about Liverpool currently is you won the league without any proven and tested striker, because Jota is not the most reliable forward. Darwin Núñez is Darwin Núñez. So I mean, if you get a striker, I don't know if you get Isak, but if you manage to get Isak, you seal the deal. Currently,
Isak is also, I think, I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, he is, but he does play a lot actually. Like, it's an upgrade on Jota. It's an upgrade on Núñez.
Yeah, well, I agree.
I don't know if Newcastle will sell. It's most likely Newcastle won't sell. But even if you just get anyone, if you get Jokeres, any striker, I think any striker you get currently is an upgrade on Núñez.
I think Liverpool never go for Jokeres. Maybe an Ekitike, fine, but I don't think.
But an Ekitike, I don't think it's an out and out number 9. I don't know why people are talking about Ekitike like he's a number 9.
Need an out and out number 9. I explained to you how Liverpool may set up, right? And we will need that kind of player who can also participate in the build-up at the same time being a striker. You want that kind of Firmino region, right? But I think to go to Man U and then maybe bring Haaland. That's what I'm doing at right now, because
your ball knowledge sucks. What the hell? What the hell are you even talking about? It's nice to have you. I'm ending it.
Let's talk about United. Don't you want to talk about United?
Rough. I mean, so what do you want to talk about? Well, United, let's again, I think Amorim is not going to have the benefits of the doubt next season. Forget the Europa League, he was that bad last season. I mean, I get the whole you need to get your system and all that. And they were that bad. Like, if United fans were told that Amorim is going to get you, when they finish 16th. Was it 16th or 17th? They finished 17th.
No,
17th.
They were more than 17th. They were above 17th. They even moved, I think they were 16th.
No. They finished 17th.
No.
Tottenham finished 17th. They finished 17th. Check it. Oh, yeah. There was Tottenham. There was Tottenham. Sorry. I forgot. So 16th. 16th.
Yes.
Hey, God, Tottenham also had a bad season.
I'm pretty sure they went 14th.
Yes. So if United fans were told that United fans, since Amorim took over, United barely had 6 wins in the Premier League. That's how, I don't care my system or whatever, but I need to see something. We didn't see anything with Amorim. My thing is this.
Are you sure?
Next season, yeah, I didn't. They barely had 6 wins.
Don't you see the system?
Like, my thing is this. So they've got Matthias Cunha.
They've got
Matthias Cunha.
But the personnel are not this.
See, it's delusion. They are living in delusion. I think if Ruben Amorim does not take care, he might be the first manager to be sacked by the halftime of this season. Because honestly, he's been given the benefit of I think he's run out of his benefit of the doubt. If next season he has, and by the time we're in December, it's still not clicking. They are still not winning games. I think Brian Mbuemo is an improvement. I think Matthias Cunha is definitely an improvement. I just don't believe in this whole Dogu thing. this will because Dogo on any normal day is not going to be a starter in any functioning Manchester United team.
Man U went up. They were 15th. Do you know what it means to move from 16th to 15th?
You're just trolling at this point. But what do you think about? I think. But honestly, I think Man United has had a better transfer window so far than Arsenal.
Oh no! You can't say that.
Why can't I say that? Do you think Arsenal? Do you think Arsenal would not want a Brian Mbeumo?
No, United is struggling from at the back. They have a goalkeeper problem.
Or they are getting Amy Martinez.
Arsenal is even reinforcing their goalkeeping department.
They don't have. I don't think Neto as a backup too. Raya was a horrendous thing. Neto is a good goalkeeper. I don't know why Kepa wanted to. So they don't.
I don't know why Kepa is going. I don't know why Kepa is going.
What are you solving? What's the problem you are solving? There's no problem, guys. I don't think they have a problem.
No. See, the thing is this. You know, just like Chelsea was playing Sanchez Premier League and then playing Jorgensen for European competition. I think Arteta wants to play something similar and win treble because you have Champions League to play for, you have Premier League to play for, FA Cup. I think they want to sweep almost everything. So that's why they are reinforcing. See, you would ask yourself, why are they buying a defender again? Tyrell Hatto, why are you buying Hatto again? Why are you buying Nørgaard, buying Zubimendi?
That's where the problem is. My thing is, if you solve your problem first, and then I don't know, but see, I maybe I'm the only one on this planet not impressed with Arsenal signings. People are. I think your main problem was attacking. I don't even think Martinelli is reliable that much. Your wings are not as reliable. Bukayo Saka gets injured and everything is all over the place. I mean, for the middle, Marino, Odegaard, Rice.
Look at that. There's even Marino.
Partey.
I forgot.
No, but Marino does not play or Partey plays.
No,
Marino does not play like Partey.
I'm not saying
Partey will be like your ACN, Makelele, Kante kind. I don't see that in Rice. Rice is not really that kind, unless they have faith that they're. So I don't want us to go back in circles, but then
no problem.
I don't think they are solving their issues. That's all I think.
Sapo, do you agree with me that, for example, if a team is able to play a whole season without a typical striker and still go ahead and win the league, don't you think such makeshifts and adaptations can be made in the midfield?
The only problem is that when we talk about Arsenal, it's not like it's not been tried and tested. They've been having this for 2 seasons, and it's so glaring that they can't play without a number 9. Havertz, they tried using Havertz. Maybe that's what they think they are going to do. But Havertz was okay for a while, but I don't think you get the consistency with Havertz. He was in Chelsea. You don't get the consistency there.
The question I even asked.
If they don't see
the question I asked, I was trying to use the question as an analog for Partey's replacement. You tend to believe Partey is irreplaceable. Fine, we may not get a player of Partey's profile to replace him like for like, but then I'm saying that there could be a systemic adaptation that could make up for that loss. Do you agree with me?
It would not get you win. You see, the thing is, we are not talking about a West Ham or a Chelsea. So even if you have the systemic replacement or whatever, the right question you should be asking yourself is that systemic replacement or makeshift whatever you do, can it win you the league? Especially when your opponents are buying. It's like you have Szoboszlai and you still bought
Florian Wirtz.
So me, I would have no problem if you have Partey and say you go Zubimendi and say you are going to bench Partey.
If you watch Liverpool play and you watch Wirtz play, are you happy that Liverpool is having Szoboszlai number 10? You know, be honest.
No.
Szoboszlai is just young Henderson. Honestly. Szoboszlai is just young Henderson. That's how I see it.
You see, but then that's it. But you see, you don't necessarily get rid of Szoboszlai because sometimes you need competition to bring out the best out of players. Yeah. But then again, because if Partey stays on, you go with what you know. Again, there's no full proof that you're going to get the best out of Zubimendi. I have watched Zubimendi. I've watched him in Spain. Zubimendi recently got into the Spanish national team as a starter. He was not starting during the Euros. Your opponent's DM was starting for Spain. These are the people you play with. But then again,
Now,
if Arsenal fans are not complaining,
if Rodri is fit and you are the La Fuente, will you play
Mhm.
Zubimendi ahead of Rodri?
Exactly. So I don't get this whole
It is
Zubimendi is in,
circumstances. It is
so Partey can
circumstances
leave.
that did not favor Zubimendi at the time. So it's acceptable.
Let's wrap it up. But then you think Arsenal's transfer season has been okay? You like it? Are you
Yeah, I
okay
mean,
with it?
so far, I think
If
I
you are
like
going
it.
to rank transfer seasons, you are going to use the transfer season for top four.
Mhm.
How would you rank it? I would rank Liverpool first,
Around
City
City
second.
first. City's first.
You're just being modest.
City first. Oh no, City has really done a very good job. I mean, Charlie is Rangers, Ait Nori.
Rangers, stop saying Rangers.
God.
Tijani Rangers.
The
It's
J there is
Tijani.
okay. Tijani Babangida. Let me
Rangers.
so Tijani Babangida. Let me use the Ray for whoever you pronounce it. So
Tijani Rangers. Tijani
Tijani,
Rangers. Sheki.
Sheki,
Kusanov, Mamouche.
Ait Nori,
Nuri.
Esteveri, Charlie.
Echeverry.
These are top signings.
No, they're just
Charlie.
splashing money.
Number one,
Honestly,
number one.
I
Number
think
two,
you don't have to grade it with. I don't grade it with the number of players you, but that does not mean you've done good
the
signing.
quality, the quality.
The quality, and I think Liverpool have more quality
Esteveri scoring free goals. Oh,
because he scored a free kick against them. What's their name? Align.
Charlie, do you know what it takes to do that? Bending the ball by the ball. Please.
It was nice having you on the podcast.
This is number one. And then next, I think I would go with Arsenal because they're signing tried and tested players.
It's nice having you on the podcast. You are just not going to let go this Arsenal thing. I don't think Arsenal have made good signings so far. I still think
Chelsea, what's happening to Chelsea? Just maybe 1 minute on Chelsea.
We are focusing on Club World Cup.
Okay.
We are recalling Andre Santos and we are buying Dario Esugu and see, I don't want to talk about.
I know there's a Gittins coming. Gittins is coming. What's going on?
Again, I don't want to get going on the Gittins thing. I think
you guys, you are
Gittins is not worth the price is being quoted. We should move away from him. You have so many players on loan all over the place.
And play
you have Andre Santos. Santos was literally one of the best players in Ligue 1. Why do you need Gittins? If you get Gittins not for that price, that's all I'm saying. Gittins being for 60. Do you think Gittins is a better player? Do you think Gittins is a better player than Kvaratskhelia? Santos is placed in the midfield.
Yes, midfield, yes, exactly. I think for wingers, Gittins is okay. You want to go and buy Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia didn't even cost that much. No, I'm saying Kvaratskhelia cost around the regions of 50 million euros. Gittins, you can't be quoting 60 million for us for Gittins. What has he achieved?
He's very young.
It's just English tax. What's that?
Age favors him.
Nicholas Jackson is very young too. McGill, being young doesn't mean you live up to potential. It's a risk.
In all honesty, is Jackson young? Is Jackson 24 years?
That's what we've been told to you prove otherwise. So Charlie, it was nice having you on.
Thank you very much for having me.
On that note, hopefully we'll do another episode and then let's see how maybe Arsenal might prove me wrong. I've not been impressed, but I can't cry more than they bereaved. Arsenal fans seems to be okay with it. So yeah.
Right.
Subscribe, like, watch the Studio Podcast. It was nice having you on. Bye.
Sure, bye.